going on, bro? Welcome back to my channel. Listen, man. So it seems there might be a rest in rapper Draco's death, man. A lot of people, and especially, man, you two named Flakko, really pointing the finger at YG, man. YG and Drakeo are both rappers from Los Angeles, but Drakeo got killed about 4 or 5 years ago at a LA festival. And it seemed like he had some beef with YG and other gang members. You know what I'm saying? That's what it seems mostly in LA, that there's a lot of gang activity and a lot of gang members out there. And it seems these guys been beefing for a while. But over this last week or two, man, it seems that a lot of people really going in and pointing the finger at YG. You know what I'm saying? Which is wild. And this right here is YG right here. You know what I mean? And he's a blood. You know what I mean? Blood is a signature of a blood gang member. You know what I mean? They mostly wear red. You know, just like Crips is they mostly wear blue. You know, and I don't really listen to his music like that, but he got maybe one or two songs that I like. And this guy right here, man, is Draco. This the guy that they had beef, and he died at a LA festival. You know, I mean, he got stabbed in the neck. It seemed them guys was about to perform at the festival. You know what I mean? Which is crazy because these guys got beef, and they was about to perform on the same set. You know what I mean? But different times or whatever. You know, it seems Draco got there, and he supposed to perform first, and I think YG supposed to perform last or whatever, you know what I mean? But they had beef, and next thing you know, they kind of met up and they had a brawl out there, and that's when Drakeo got stabbed in the neck. And also, YG did got arrested a few days ago, but he was let go. You know what I mean? A lot of people speculating that, you know, that's part of the reason that he got arrested because the police officer wanted to question him about the Drakeo murder. You know what I mean? But let's react to this video, man, about Flakko. And Flakko really kind of breaks it down of YG probably did kill Drakeo.
I found the smoking gun in this Drakeo the Ruler case, and YG, I'm sorry, bro, you going to jail. In a song called We Know the Truth, when YG is addressing the rumors that he got Drakeo the Ruler killed at the Once Upon a Time festival, YG denied it, and he says, I wasn't worried about Drakeo. Slim 400 just died. I was worried about Slim. He also says, I came to get the dough. I was finna hit the stage. Then I heard how y'all heard somebody got hit with a blade. I was nowhere around. I ain't have nothing to do with this.
So these lyrics right here is coming from YG. YG just released the album last week, and this is one of the songs that he kind of put on his album and saying this right here. You know, and it's kind of wild that he's really kind of addressing the issue between him and Drakeo now, about 4 or 5 years later, which is crazy.
Why are you guys blaming it on me? YG even says that, yo, they say I murdered this, they say I murdered that. Well, if that's true, then you be a snitch and I'd be sleeping in a cell on a rack. But too bad, that ain't true. Okay, well, hey, listen, man. YG, sir, you got to speaking too soon, okay? You underestimated how committed people are to bring in Drakeo justice. Since YG has dropped that song, law enforcement has detained YG, executing a search warrant for Drakeo the Ruler's murder. And we now have a deposition from Draco's security guard identifying YG at the scene. Now, listen very closely to what this security guard just said, because the piece of information we have lines everything up and catches YG in 4K.
Drakeo, and they let us go. They would then ask him what the 10 to 12 people were wearing, and he would say a lot of red. Red shirts, red jackets, red ski masks, red gloves, red shoes.
You remember, that's what I say, like, that's what the Bloods wear. The Bloods wear mostly red.
Everything. And he would tell them they weren't only just wearing red, they were throwing up gang signs with their hands. And he would notice that they were throwing up the B. And he would explain that they were all taking pictures and that there was a cameraman that was standing behind the cars, just taking pictures. And he would say he was watching his surroundings because he knew everybody knew Draco's vehicle. They would then ask him, when he observed the individuals in the van, was it his understanding that that was YG's crew? And he would respond and say yes. They would ask him, entourage or group? And he would say, yes, I saw YG. He was in front of everybody taking a picture, as if the group was standing behind him and he was singled out in the front. They then asked him what was YG wearing, and he would tell them a black ski mask, black shiny jacket, black pants with a red stripe going down the side, and black shiny shoes. They would then ask, so the other guys were wearing red, correct? And he would say yes.
Pay attention. This is Draco's security guard right here. This is YG.
Wow, that listen, man, like this is 4K. You know what I mean? Like it's not 100% clear, but we can see the red stripes in the black pants. You know what I mean? And this guy right here in the black, seeming he just got his face covered up, so you really can't see who it is right here.
Black pants, red stripes, with a knife in his hand. Now he's advancing
Now we can't really see the knife right there. I'm not really seeing the knife, to be honest with you.
forward. Now the reason why like this angle is kind of awkward, but Draco's security is focused on somebody else because they're advancing. That person I think is YG's security guard. They are advancing. There's about 90 to 100 people over here somewhere advancing on those other people. So YG is advancing forward. People is beginning to run away. Now, the reason why this is important, you're going to find out shortly, okay? Draco security guard, YG. From that angle, that security guard had the best look at the dude in the black pants and the red stripes. So because he had the best look, he probably is the most qualified to identify who it was. He would say it was YG. Now, he would also identify what YG was doing when the fight that ultimately took Draco's life broke out.
Then tell him that eventually they parked their vehicles and everybody would gather around. And as they were walking to the gate, Draco turned around to go put something in his vehicle. He would tell him that he forgot what it was, but he believes that it was a bag. And he would say that as they were walking to the vehicle, he would notice that the 400 camp was walking towards them. But he would say that Chief and Heavily also went back to his own vehicle to put something inside of it. But he would say that him and Draco and Chief and Heavily went different ways. He went with Draco, and then Chief and Heavily went a separate way. But as the group regathered, Chief and Heavily would tell him that there was an attempted robbery on his chain. And he would say that after that, Draco said, "What the F? Hell no," and immediately ran back towards the pink lot. Draco's security said that he tried to grab him by his shirt collar, but wasn't able to get him. They would then ask him if he followed Draco to the pink lot. And he would say, "Yes, I immediately tried to grab him." They would then ask him, "Then what happened? Did an altercation ensue?" He would then tell them, "Yeah, but he still wanted to do his job by protecting Draco, and that he didn't want to grab him and fight with him, knowing that all the people were coming towards them." He would then say that the brawl broke out, and he would hit the first person coming towards them. And he would tell him that he also brought a knife in that night, but it was inside of Draco's Rolls Royce. They would then ask him how many people were they fighting, and he would say 20 to 25 people minimum.
Damn.
And they would ask him if he recognized anybody in that group of 25. And he would respond and say, "I only recognize one, YG." And they would ask him, so he was directly involved in the fight? And he would say yes, front and center. He would then say how Draco was standing by his side when he was fighting YG and YG's bodyguard. And he would say that YG produced a knife from his left hand. He would then say that when he seen that, he backed up and Draco was standing by his side the whole time. He would then say that more people began swarming and they
You know, my thing is like, if the security guard saw the knife or whatever, why he ain't like yell out, "Yo, he got a knife, he got a knife, knife, knife." You know what I mean? You security guard. You know what I mean? I can understand it's kind of heat of the moment and you trying to protect yourself as well, because I think in this right here, like the other guy who was advancing at him had also had a knife. You know what I mean? So I kind of understand it, but it's like I think he should have yelled it out, "Knife, knife," because Draco's like right beside him as well, you know?
would attempt to fight off while backing up. They would then ask him, "So you witnessed YG, who you recognized produced a knife from his sleeve, correct?" And he would respond and say yes. And he would say that he just saw the blade, he didn't see the handle, and that it was a silver blade, almost like a shank made in prison. He told them it was about 3 to 4 inches long, and he was slashing it at him. They would then ask him, did he witness any other knives in the melee? And he would say, yeah, there was a guy on the left of YG that had a knife also. And they would ask him to describe the knife, and he would say the same thing. And he would say you can tell they had a knife because nobody swings a punch like how they were doing in the video.
He identified YG with a knife, and he also said he was fighting off YG and his security guard. So the person who stabbed Draco the Ruler is not YG, because the security guard was tussling with YG and his bodyguard. And because he was tussling with YG and his bodyguard, who he claimed had knives, somebody came from around him and stabbed Draco the Ruler.
Mm-hmm.
So we know YG didn't stab Draco the Ruler, but it doesn't matter. Because if we could prove that YG had a knife and YG was participating in that fight with a knife, and he called the hit on Draco the Ruler, YG is going to jail for the rest of his life. So can we prove that it was actually YG in that black pants and red stripes? Can we prove that? Well, here's the thing. We got the proof that that was YG. we got the undoubtable proof that was YG. They asked him what YG was wearing, and he says the black pants with the red stripes down the middle. This is the pants. This is YG wearing the pants. Look at the...
Wow, that's crazy. That is crazy right there. Because you got to remember, they was like taking photos and stuff in the beginning and went on to perform.
comparison. These are the exact same pants that YG wore the night that Drakeo the Ruler brawl broke out. Now, if we pause right here and we look at YG advancing, that right there is the pants he's advancing on. Well, look at it. This is the exact same pants.
Stripe going down the side and black shiny shoes.
I ain't know, chat. Flakko might got him, man. I don't know. Because he do got a black jacket. We just don't see like those whatever that diamonds or whatever. I don't know what you call those crystals or whatever on the jacket right there. But we do see the red pants, I mean the red stripe and black pants. That's crazy. Maybe somebody else probably had the same pants. I don't know. That is crazy. Damn, Flakko got him.
Black shiny jacket, black pants with a red stripe going down the side. Black shiny jacket, black pants with a red stripe going down the side. Black shiny jacket, black pants with a red stripe going down the side.
These dudes got to be the dumbest set of criminals I've ever seen in my life. Why would you allow yourself to get photographed in the pants that you wore the night of I've ever seen in my life? Why would you allow yourself to get photographed in
black pants with a red stripe going down the side?
These dudes got to be the dumbest set of criminals I've ever seen in my life. Why would you allow yourself to get photographed in the pants that you wore in my life? Why would you allow yourself?
Black pants with a red stripe going down the side. Black shiny jacket, black pants with a red stripe going down the side. Black shiny jacket, black pants with a red stripe going down the side.
These dudes got to be the dumbest set of criminals I've ever seen in my life. Why would you allow yourself to get photographed in the pants that you wore the night of the murder?
Crazy work.
Sir,
Crazy.
This is probably a bigger mistake, but certainly just as big as Munchie B admitting he passed the bottle to Draco's killer every day. This is terrible. Why would you allow yourself to get photographed in the pants you wore the night that Drakeo... What?
They then asked him what was YG wearing, and he would tell them a black ski mask, black shiny jacket, black pants with a red stripe going down the side, and black shiny shoes. They would then ask, so the other guys were wearing red, correct? And he would say yes. And as you can see right here,
Watch
which
this
would be
footage.
the video of the situation, you can see the clothes that he's describing. A black ski mask.
Now, the reason why this footage is important, I'm about to show you guys where YG was and where Drakeo was.
Mask, black shiny jacket, black...
Let's rewind a little bit more. 1 second. Right here. This is Drakeo the Ruler. This is Drakeo the Ruler right here. This is Drakeo. This is Draco's security.
Gotta go to the security guard. He was in there rumbling, chat. He was in there rumbling trying to fight.
Guard. He's exactly where he said he was. So they are advancing on Drakeo. Now, I was told this footage right here is like of the fight. You're about to see YG walk into frame. So the security guard apparently starts starts tussling with YG and his security guard, and then YG, according to this dude, right, the Drakeo security guard, YG starts to swipe.
Pants with a red stripe going down the side.
And we actually watch YG swipe in real life too. Watch this.
With a red stripe going down
You see?
the side.
You see
and
the
black
swipe?
shiny shoes. A black ski mask, black shiny jacket, a black ski mask, pants with a red stripe, black shiny jacket, black pants.
You see?
Jacket, black pants.
You see the swipe
Black
goes
shiny jacket, black pants with a red stripe going down the side, and black shiny shoes. A black ski mask, black shiny jacket.
Hold on. Come on, bro. The same skin tone. Oh my God, cuz. It's the same skin tone. It's him. It's the same skin tone. Even without what we, even without this, even without
Black
the footage.
pants with a red stripe going down the side, and black shiny.
Yeah, I think he might be cooked. Yeah, chat. What YG might be cooked. I'm not gonna lie, man. Flacco really broke it down.
Now we know who was in the red pants. Well, the black pants with the red stripes. Now we know. Now, YG actually wore those pants after the murder, which is what makes this even dumber. Yo, bro, you should have burned the clothes that you wore that night. Like, simply, you should have burned the clothes you wore that night. This is terrible. This is bad, man. Now, Draco the Ruler has some advice for YG. See, Draco the Ruler experienced a similar fate in the past, right? In his life. You see, Draco had some dudes around him. And because of their actions, he went down and he was considered a kingpin, right? The ruler of the gang. They use his name against him. So here is Draco the Ruler, talking about California penal codes and really breaking down how the law works and why YG is absolutely cooked. Now, this is not about YG, but this fits what's going on with YG currently. And I just think it was fitting for Draco the Ruler to explain it to YG instead of Poetik Flakko.
Well, and on top of that, they were saying the Stink Team was a gang.
Yeah.
You were the leader.
I was the leader because of my name, Draco
Right.
the Ruler.
And in California, if you're a gang member, you can be charged for crimes that other members did.
Other people do.
So whatever the Stink Team did in their own personal life could ultimately be put on you because you're the quote-unquote leader of this violent gang.
Even if I wasn't there, but that would be penal code 182.5.
Right.
Criminal street gang conspiracy, which they don't even charge people with, but they had decided to charge me with that.
I mean, how does it feel to be sitting there and like all these charges are just piling up on you and you're like, yo, like, I didn't do none of this shit.
Yeah,
and they're putting everything on me right now.
I mean, on top of that, like, that, it had to do a lot with, like, these rapper niggas and all this other shit that didn't want to see me get out anyway. So, like, they would say that they wasn't doing police shit or weird shit, but then you go put some shit on the internet saying I did something that I didn't do, or every day you tweeting some shit, and all the police doing is looking like, oh, well, we're gonna, bring this in, or we're gonna look at this. Oh, look what Whoopty Whoop just said. Like, they don't understand that. So I'm sitting here, it's a new room or it's something new every time I go to court, like, oh, well, Whoopty Whoop, we don't know if we're gonna use this, but it's right here. Some shit off of Twitter or something that somebody said, like, so with all the people tweeting stuff and fuck Draco and fuck this and whatever, most of the blood niggas, fuck blood and blood this and all this other stuff, then the police, all they do is say, here goes another narrative. We're gonna say he was beefing with this person. We're gonna say he was beefing with this person. He created all these issues with all these people because people want to get on Twitter and say all this other shit.
In Draco's case, it was the Bloods that was telling on him. In y'all case, y'all told on yourselves, bro. Y'all did a whole lot of self-snitching and self-incrimination. Now, Draco has educated y'all on California penal codes and laws. Good luck. And we're far from finished, bro. We have so much. Bro, this was like an emergency video. Y'all didn't plan on dropping another video until I hear back from something that I'm waiting on. But this was just an emergency video, man. Y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think.
Yeah, man. I think in this situation right here, man, I think YG might, like Flacco said, man, I didn't really see a knife in YG hand at that moment right there. You know what I mean? Maybe he had it, maybe he didn't. It was dark, but the light ain't 100% clear. You know what I'm saying? But we do see those red stripes in the black pants. I'm not gonna lie. So he was there. He was involved though. He was involved in Drakeo's murder. You know what I mean? Maybe he didn't want to stab him, but he was right there. You know what I mean? Involving himself. You know what I mean? Will he be charged for this? I'm not sure, man. Like, this is wild. You know what I mean? Like 4 or 5 years later, now something really going on because a lot of people thought this Drakeo murder, man, they thought it was gonna be a cold case because no police, no detectives, nobody really talking about it. You know what I mean? It happened, and when it happened, now it's gone. So the situation is wild. But listen, y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments, man. Do y'all think YG might be arrested for this, or Flacco just talking out his ass? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, yo. Don't forget to like and subscribe.